people, welcome back to the tasty Jamaican kitchen. On the menu today, guys, we have some delicious Jamaican rice and peas. And guys, I'm so excited to share my recipe with you because if you click on this video, I know you're confused on how to make rice and peas. You're probably wondering how much water they use, how much rice they use, how much peas they use, how they get it so shelly and nice. Guys, I've got the method. So let me go ahead and show you how to make my rice and peas in your kitchen, guys. This method gonna work every single time. And you can enjoy it with your oxy or your brown stew chicken, your curry goat, anything you want, guys. Let's get to it.
All right, my lovely people. So the first thing you want to do is grab a strainer. We're going to go ahead and rinse our peas. Today I'm using red peas, my favorite kind of rice and peas. I know some people prefer gungo peas. Comment down below your favorite. But we're going to use the small kind. I know you have the big red kidney beans. I prefer to use the small one personally. So this is the one that I always use. All right, so first things first, you want to go ahead and put some in a strainer. So when it comes to your peas to rice ratio, you want to double the amount of rice to peas. So if you use 1 cup of peas, 2 cups of rice. If you use 2 cups of peas, 4 cups of rice, and so on, right? Okay. So that's about the ratio that you want to do. You just want to go in and pick out the ones that you think it looks kind of old, that you don't want to be cooking in your food. And then you want to rinse it. All right, so you just want to go in, give that a good spray, rub it off, all of that good stuff, so that you have nice, clean peas to begin with. All right. The basis of everything you cook is just clean, good quality ingredients. All right, so just shake off the excess water and see no peas is floating around in your sink, as opposed to if you should rinse it in a pot or a bowl and peas is just gonna be everywhere. You don't want that. Then to a pot, I like to use a non-stick pot because off the bat, it's just better to boil your peas in the non-stick pot, so then you could just add the rice to that, and rice cooks better in a non-stick pot. So then I'm just gonna cook up my peas in a non-stick pot. All right, you want to put about 3/4 of the pot weight of water. Pop that on your stove because we're gonna go ahead and boil our peas, and peas is kind of tough, so you want to make sure that it's tenderized. All right, so here I have some garlic, about 3 to 4 pegs of garlic that I crushed and chopped. All right, then you just want to pop that in right away. That's literally the only thing that you're going to start with when you are cooking your peas. All right, so just cover that down and let it rock. All right, so it's been about an hour and 15 minutes now. The peas is now opening up. All right, do not try this method that I'm about to do at home. I've just been doing it for a long time, so it's like my fingertips are immune. In Jamaica, we normally put sauce in our hands to taste it or touch hot food. Don't try that. Just look at it. You see how it's opening up, or you could crush it on the side of the pot. Something that will indicate to you that it's opening up, because you don't want to burn yourself. All right, so at this point, we're gonna add our coconut milk to our pot here. So I'm using the Jamaica Choice brand. I prefer this one when it comes to canned coconut milk. You see how creamy that is? Look at that, it's still cream in there. All right, so you just wanna go in and rinse that out and make sure you use up all your coconut milk. I know you have the fresh coconut and stuff like that. My parents used to do that when I was growing up, but me personally, I just don't have the time, and it's kind of hard oxing out that coconut, so I just don't do it. My parents were pros at it. They'll sit there and ox it out. I'll see my mom sit and slice up all them coconuts and then blend it and all of that. They used to grater it. Sugar, brown sugar. You want to use brown sugar as well. This brings up the flavor in your coconut milk, because coconut milk is naturally sweet. So you want to add some brown sugar in there. Not too much, just a good amount. And here I have some green seasonings that I made. If you're not familiar with green seasoning, go ahead and check it out. I have a video up on my channel. Elevates all your dish. Highly recommend that you check out that green seasoning video so that you could make this and just pop it in your fridge. You'll have it whenever you want it for any dish that you're making. You could just have it ready, and it preserves in your fridge for a really long time. All right, so there we have it. Then we're gonna go in with some Maggi all-purpose season up. Y'all know me, I put this in everything I cook. Great flavors here. All right, so I went in with about a teaspoon. You could flavor to your liking. I just prefer to use a little bit because what I'm eating it with, anything that I'm eating it with usually is seasoned enough, and I like to have my rice to just be fresh and nice, so it's not too salty, because I don't like salt on salt, but you could season to your liking. All right, and then immediately after that, you just want to go in with some scallion and thyme, just to add some flavor, some extra flavor of bursting to the pot. All right, because now we're just prepping the pot for our rice. All right, so going with some butter. Butter makes everything better. Just love me some butter. All right, and just let that mellow out in the pot. Give that a nice stir. All right, and you see the water level already. You could tell you're gonna need more water. All right, now be careful with the amount of water that you add into your rice, because you don't want it to be a sog fest. All right, you don't want no soggy amount of water. So you're gonna add some water, but first you're gonna add some black pepper to the pot. All right, because black pepper just does something. Like, you don't really taste it, but it does something to your rice and peas. You gotta have it. All right, so just go with your black pepper, give that a stir. All right, you want all of that to just jive together and make everything flavorful. All right, and then you want to go in with some water. So like I said, you want to be careful with the amount of water that you add in at this point, because you want to make sure that when it comes to the rice and water ratio, that you have the perfect amount, because that's going to determine how your rice turn out. All right, so once you add in your rice, you could determine the amount of water. You could add more water, but you don't want to have to be taken out, because you're going to be taking out flavors. All right, so cover that down and just let it simmer until you know your peas is to that perfect tenderness, because you want your peas to have that nice softness and to almost become kind of stewy, so that it will just flavor your rice and everything will just come together and be so delicious. All right, so right there is how you want your peas to be, like opening up, soft, all of that. And then you're gonna go in with your rice. So I rinse my rice the same way that I rinse my peas in the strainer, so that it's no rice falling over in the sink everywhere, because I hate to have to rinse it in a bowl and then pour it over and then rice falling out in the sink. No. So we rinse it in the strainer so that it will all stay in there, and we just spray it, wash it with our hands, rub it together, all of that good stuff. All right, so you just want to go in and give that a mix. This is important. You gotta stir the rice. All right, because you don't want the peas to be at the bottom and the rice at the top. Not rice and peas, it's peas and rice, but you want to mix it. And then you see your fingertip, the first line, you want your rice to be there. So let me explain that. The top part of your rice, you want to make sure that from the top to the first line on your finger is where the water line stops. All right, so keep adding water until you get that. All right, I show this method in my white rice video. You can check that out. But it's technically, you just literally use, because it's hot now, like you can't put your finger in it as opposed to white rice. So you just add enough water, and then you use a fork, a spoon, whatever, and just put it to the top of the rice. The bottom, the tip of it, you put it to the top level of the rice. And then you bring it up to the water line. So wherever the water line stops, you measure that on your finger, and then boom, you know that's a perfect amount of water. It's gonna always work this way, unless you're using brown rice, because brown rice is tougher. So you would just go that one line and then another half, so the brown rice. All right, so again, you just want to bring it to the water level. So you want to put the tip of it to the top part of the rice and bring it up to the top part of the water. All right, so now you're just measuring the water. You don't want to sink it into the rice, just the water level to get it to the first line on your finger. So right here, you want to go in and just move around your rice, you know, once it starts boiling up a little bit, because you want to make sure that nothing is sticking. Just move it around. Don't be stirring it up too much, because we don't want to make no mash. We just want to move around our rice, making sure all the rice grains are doing their thing and they're comfortable in the pot. All right, just cover that down. And then now is the other trick to your rice and peas coming out perfect. So you see right here, I have a Ziploc bag. You just want to go ahead and put it around the perimeter of on top of the pot, and then just stick around the perimeter. All right, so this is about when the water level is like, just a little bit of water you could see visible in the rice. You want to go in and put your Ziploc bag and then just cover it down. We used to use a plastic bag in Jamaica. But guys, look at this perfection. Look at it. Like, you could see it through the plastic. Look at that. Shelly rice coming out. It works every time. This is the method. It takes out the guessing game. You just have to do exactly what I tell you. Exactly this. You measure the water ratio, so it doesn't matter how much peas you cook or how much rice you cook. All that matters is when you put the rice in, the water has to be perfect. And look at that. Look at that perfection. Guys, Shelly rice, peas, perfect, everything delicious. All right, so now we're gonna go in and take out the scallion and the thyme, because those things are annoying when you're trying to eat or plate up your rice and peas. So just go in and take those out. But look at the Shelly rice. Look how Shelly that is. It's not soggy, it's not wet, it's just perfect. This is what you gotta do. I'm telling you, guys, take the guessing game out of how much water to add. How do I know how to make rice and peas? This is it. Look how Shelly that is. Look at that perfection. Just measure your water once you add the rice in. And that's all you need to know. You don't need to be like, okay, I'm using this amount of rice to this amount of water. No, you just got to measure it. It works like that every time. So if you're making a big pot, a small pot, this method works. Guys, share this one with your friends so everybody could know how to get themselves some nice, perfect Shelly rice and peas. I'm here for y'all. Everything Jamaican, I'm gonna share it. All right, the methods are real. Everything works that I'm showing you. Guys, I hope you enjoy this one. Check out all my other videos and make your oxtail, your curry goat, anything you want with the rice and peas, guys. So excited I was able to share this one with y'all. And comment down below, let me know how it is for y'all. And don't forget to tag me over on Instagram if you make this. Let me see how everything's turning out. All right, enjoy this one, guys. Until next time, stay blessed.